Hey folks, it's time for the TWiP Pro Photo Critique number 113. This is TWiP. Hey, welcome back to another TWiP Pro Photo Critique. This week's critique topic was music or your favorite music genre and illustrating that with photographs. I think this should be pretty interesting. Troy Miller, what do you think, man? What do you think? Is it possible to capture a song in pixels?
I think so. Songs really are about stories and events in life. So I think that, maybe showing those events in life that reference to songs, I think that's a good play.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they came up with, because it was, there's some interesting shots in there, and you put one in there. I don't know if that's fair, but we're gonna do that one first. Yeah, it's interesting. I want to explore the topic of music as it relates to photography more as we go forward, because I think there's a lot there. And
yes, I agree.
We go a couple levels deeper on that. Before we dive in, what's our critique topic going to be for next week? What do you think?
Ooh, I think that we should do pets.
Nice.
Yes.
Just pets, or should it be the secret world of pets?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what are those?
Yeah. When we do our member mixers, everybody's got their pets that come through the frame and kind of hang out with us all. And I'm like, we're all hanging out with our pets, so why not?
Let's do pets, yeah. They're going to be 90% cat photos. I'm just saying.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe 2 dogs in there. We'll see. Or Joshua. Joshua's going to come up with some alligators or something, or spiders. So we'll see. They have to be pets, Joshua. They can't just be wildlife. It has to be a pet.
He's got a cat. Yeah, he's got a cat.
Oh, Joshua's a cat?
Yeah.
Cool. See, I knew there was something I liked about him. Cool. Awesome. I love cats, too. Cats rock. Cats are superior life forms.
They run the world. Yeah,
they do. They're smart and they're designed to be predators. They're perfect. All right, enough of that. Let's dive in. So this week, normally I do the critiques when I show the screen. It's basically the galleries that live on the main site, thisweekinphoto.com. This week I decided to I'm going to show the Mighty Network version, because there's a lot of captions that are kind of, we need to read the captions on some of these in order to get them. Yeah, and we're not really set up yet. Hopefully very soon on thisweekinphoto.com in the community over there to, have captions and do everything there. So we're still in this stopgap mode, which is fine. So that is why you are seeing this version of the site, which is Mighty Networks. So here's the photo critique topic. The first one in here is from you, as we said, Troy Miller. And what did you say? My network is going a little slow today, so bear with it. 5-Finger Death Punch, Jekyll and Hyde. This song is not safe for work, but seems so appropriate for me and the world at this time. Okay, let's take a look at this bigger. 5-Finger Death Punch. You sent me a link, or you turned me on to these guys a while ago. Yeah, they got some pretty extreme lyrics in there.
They do. And it's not my daily listen, but with everybody being sort of on quarantine and being kind of in lockdown, this song just felt very appropriate. It's been in my head for, a couple weeks now. So it kind of gets your blood pumping, and it's a good riff. So yeah, I wouldn't play it at work or around, everybody.
Yeah, around sensitive ears. Yeah, this is definitely not socially distanced.
No, and
this is when humans could actually touch each other in that era.
So this was photographed at the Vans Warped Tour a couple years ago, and just crowd surfing, and I always love the crowds because the faces, there's so many expressions going on in there that I just love. So yeah, this guy's just really just enjoying life. This is like his 5th time crowd surfing up to the stage, so I kind of knew he was coming back, so I waited for him.
That is cool. That's a good shot, man. And there's one person wearing a mask down there. Look at that.
Yeah, the dust was atrocious. Yeah, the dust was so bad.
Where was this?
This was at I think it's the Pomona Fairgrounds. They had a dirt track, and in the middle of the track it was grass, but the grass had died. It was just dust. and it made for an amazing atmosphere. They since planted grass, which made it nice and clean, which is very, very good. But there was so much dust in the air. It was awful. It was just awful. But
you got this shot out of it, so there.
I did, yeah.
Very cool. Good shot, man.
Fun stuff.
All right, let's move on to the next shot here. Close that out. Alisha is up next.
Yes.
And she says, when they're about to play your favorite song. She shot this in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Look.
I love it. I like that little bit of green coming in on what is that, like the bass player's hair.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. She's got a little smirk on her face. Like she's really digging being up there playing as well. You know, obviously everybody's enjoying her music. So, yeah, great caption. I'm trying to look at like how to crop that a little bit tighter. There's some distracting elements in the back.
The words are always distracting, right? In Canal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, just bring the top down. That really does the most for me, because I think the real focus is just on her face, and
like to about right here, like right below the public house.
Yeah,
public brew house, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that would really be my biggest critique would be to crop the top a little bit tighter, and if you can, maybe like a vignette that really shows more of the players, the face.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a vignette on this one probably would draw it in. I kind of like the amount of headroom up there, but yeah, you're right. That plaque, that wood thing on the wall up there is a little distracting, because that's where your eye goes first. Is like what it's say.
Yeah. And I know it's a nit that you can't really fix in the image, but seeing the guitar sticking out of frame, to me, like, that's part of the musician. And when you're photographing concerts and things, it's always nice to try to get either crop in nice and tight where you get mostly the subject, or get all the guitar, right? Get the head of that. And that's just timing sometimes. It doesn't always work, but great telling story though. I love this.
All right, Alisha, thank you for that. Great shot.
Yeah,
great shot. All right, moving on to the next one. Let's close out of there. This one's from Peter Levshin. He says, "You tell me."
That's so cool.
What is going on here, man? What is happening? What do you know what's happening here? This is like an MC Escher shot or something.
Yeah. I think this is his interpretation of Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and what's in heaven there? M&M's, Cheetos. It looks like vodka. That's Peter's version of it. Looks like a Negro Modelo right there bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter.
That's fantastic.
I love it. And those things are on the way to heaven. They're not in heaven, right?
Apparently, yeah, on the way. Yeah, not there.
No. It's just a little stop on the way in purgatory to get your grub on, and you keep going.
Yeah, I love the treatment. I really like the inverted black and white, which is really cool. Which is cool.
Yeah, this is cool. What do you think about the light rays?
They're nice.
I hear Troy's mom on your shoulder. If you don't have anything nice to say, Troy, don't say anything.
They look a little dropped in, and
they're just a little intense. I think they could be maybe thicker, and maybe the opacity could be dropped back a little bit. They look a little literal, I think.
Yes, they do. Yeah, and because they're intense over all the subject matter. Like it doesn't feel like that's part of the atmosphere. So trying to make light rays look natural can be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So, but it's a great conceptual piece, and obviously it's not literal. So I don't want to use the word artificial, but the added light rays kind of work in this mode, right? I mean, it kind of works in this storytelling methodology. We're not trying to tell reality. So they
that's true. That is true. Yeah. So why be subtle when you're trying to create an abstraction? Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Peter.
Good job, Peter.
Pita. All right. Amy Brooks is up next. She says, "Bridge over troubled waters for a more interesting interpretation of the sound of silence." Yeah. And this is one of the ones that made me make the decision to do the critique from this site versus the other one. Because if we just looked at this shot with no caption, we'd like, oh, okay, this is a nice shot of a waterfall, but we have no idea what she's trying to say.
Right. I'm curious which version of The Sound of Silence that she prefers.
Yeah.
There you go. I like the disturbed version, of course, but
see, now I need to go back and listen to all of them. I didn't know there were multiple versions.
They're all good. They're all really good, but disturbed Sound of Silence is just an amazing version. So, and I think it does the song justice. So,
I like the shot. I like the shot on its own without even kind of thinking of a song to tie it to. It just looks very Middle Earthian.
It does. You know, when I first looked at this image, I was really attracted to the water and sort of that mist, that spray, and then I noticed in the background that chasm. Which was, like you said, it was very Middle Earth, very old world kind of stuff. I love the square composition. I wish the highlights were a little brighter, but there's a good chance that's, because it's being, compressed on the web.
I'm waiting for you to say that you want to see it in black and white. Really?
I was going to avoid saying that. But
it's almost there already. It's just pretty desaturated.
Well, I think that it would look really good in black and white. And the reason is that right now the green is a wonderful color of the water. Like, I like the color of green. But I think in black and white, then you're going to really see that mist and the shape of the water as it breaks up and it falls over the cliff. But I love black and white. So
yeah, I think, but the general. There are no rules in this stuff, right? But the general guidance is if you don't feel like color is adding to the story that you're trying to tell with the shot, then experiment with removing it. And I think, in the case of this shot, removing just sort of that green tint from the water and from the hills and the chasm in the background would draw your attention more to the texture of that water and what's going on in the background versus, the greenery.
Right. And then I'm wondering, and maybe it's just an optical illusion, but the bottom, sliver of the image looks odd.
Right. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, because water doesn't travel in a straight line like that.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, it feels cloned. It feels like something was cloned out. Like maybe that's a handrail that got removed or something like that. And if that's the case, either way, just crop it up from the bottom. Just crop that little oddness out, whatever.
And if you really needed this aspect ratio for some reason, water is so random and high frequency, it's easy to clone water into that spot, right?
Yeah.
Without no one ever knowing or being the wiser.
Yeah, if you were to tighten that crop, you're not going to lose anything in the image.
Very cool. Very cool. You need some Skyloom birds in that mist, though, right?
Yeah, or
you put some Luminar birds in there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool shot.
The birds, yeah, it's a very cool shot though. I love that, and I love the reference to that song. That's a really good reference. And she made it square, almost like a CD cover, right? Like you could totally, yeah.
Bridge over troubled waters. Now that song's in my head. Thank you.
Sound of Silence.
Jim Peters is up next. Let's take a look at what he said. So he says, and this image must be huge because it was taking a long time to load earlier too. He says, it may be too late, but I've been pondering the music question all weekend. I recently started my first paid music subscription to play specific jazz artists, but then I realized I had been missing a lot of my old favorites that would also have those available. A bit behind the times, but I'm catching up. And that word play. Let's take a look.
Yeah, very cool. I don't know how anybody gets by without a music subscription.
Yeah, it's kind of a requisite, right? Yeah, because my brain is so eclectic. I could be driving down the road and see something that makes me think of a particular song, and I can just go listen to that song.
Yeah,
in the old days with my Columbia Music subscription,
it didn't work that way.
It didn't work that way.
Or you dig into your case of cassettes and the song's in there somewhere.
Yeah. Or the annual yearly pilgrimage through the cassettes. They're like, I remember that song. That's that Prince CD. Let me play that. Right?
Yeah.
No, this is cool though.
This is a really fun image. Yeah, this is really fun. I I wish it was a little bit more mysterious in the content, you know, how it was photographed, you know, like a little bit more depth and lighting and darkness and shadows and, you know, things like that. Feels a little flat.
Yeah.
But the story comes across pretty well. I mean, you could have shot really low with the album cover in the front foreground and then the Alexa like really, really tall in the back and really dramatic lighting.
Yeah. You notice something in here? Look at the title on this album right here.
Oh my gosh.
How about that?
Did they know?
Did they know? Is this collaboration?
I love the albums that he picked, and you know, the actual record sleeves and the Hotel California's on top. That's pretty wicked. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I dig it. Awesome.
Well
Thank
done,
you, Mr. Jim Peters. Thank you.
Jim. All
right, next shot is, geez, my computer's cranking. It's at 75% right now for some reason. Stephen Scharf is up next. Stephen says, Haydn String Quartet number 8 in E major. Stephen.
Yeah.
Bunch of letters and numbers and stuff put together. John Williams guitar, Alan Lovely violin, Amaryllis Fleming on the cello, Cecil. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at this.
Very cool. I like
that's
the thing.
Yeah. That's music gear from an audiophile's perspective.
Yeah.
It's a contrast to the last shot where the Amazon Echo device is not necessarily known for its fidelity. Then you move to this one, and this is all about fidelity and art of the device and all that stuff. So it's a good contrast.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful image. A couple small critiques. I mean, I love the ad of the cat in the lower right hand corner. Mm-hmm. We know Stephen is a cat person as well. One is
Hey, Footy.
One, I wish that the turntable was symmetrically centered. It's rotated counterclockwise on the table, so to us, camera right, front right leg is back further than the front left leg, and the branding, the logo plate on the turntable itself is off center, right? So that I wish that this just, to me, this whole image just almost demands perfect symmetry, right?
Yeah, it definitely wants it. So, and if you're going to go in that symmetrical route, then everything from the blinds on the wall in the back, so the turntable should be centered between those two, and centered on the table, and you just sort of intentionally centered. And anything that breaks the symmetry, like whatever that is on the banister back there, or that molding on the wall, you clone that thing out on the left. See that right there? This thing right here. Yeah, whatever that is, clone that out.
Yeah, I would take that out too. I think that, because I know what that is. Stephen may have left it in. It's an acoustical device that you put on hard surfaces to break up resonating wave patterns or something. I don't know. I'm just using big words. Yeah. Stephen,
it looks like a snap to me. Like you just.
It's not. Stephen can put more information in about how those things work, but it actually breaks up. The audio when it bounces off the walls, it helps break it up so it doesn't reflect back. That's the best way I can describe it.
Interesting.
But most people don't know what it is, and this is such a wonderful image, and I think a tad bit of Photoshop to add some more balance and symmetry, clean up the sunlight on the banister and the blinds, maybe flip the top right corner blind into the top left corner so it seems perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
And because one of the things about music, and I know that Stephen is into high-end audio, is all about perfection. Like they're striving for the cleanest sound and the least amount of noise, and right down to the power supplies and everything.
Yeah.
So,
I always wonder about the audiophile stuff. I wonder if my ears are evolved enough to discern the differences between music played on ultra high-end audio gear versus, coming from iTunes or Spotify or something like that digitally through a decent sound system. I know Steven is listening to this and he's probably nodding his head saying, yes, it is. Your ears can discern the difference, Frederick.
I absolutely agree. I've heard his system. And I've been, an iTunes child for many years, and I listen to everything on, Bluetooth headphones, which compresses the audio and everything. And it's absolutely stunning to hear high-end audio.
I think maybe I don't want to hear it then because, is it better to have loved and lost than not have loved at all? So.
No, you want to hear it. You really do. It's like going to a live concert. I mean, it sounds better than a live concert sometimes. It's quite amazing. The subtleties are really quite amazing.
Really cool.
Yep.
All right. Stephen Scharf, thank you, sir. All right. Next shot up is... And here's another reason why I am showing these shots on the Old Mighty Network site is because this is a new member, Nora. Welcome to This Week in Photo, Nora. And Nora was kind enough to leave me a little note at the bottom of her post. All you people with names that I can't pronounce, thank you. Do what Nora did here. Look at that. She says, Frederick, since I know the ZN combination is daunting, yes, the last name is pronounced not in us. Not in us. So her last name is not in us. Not us. We will pronounce it that way from henceforth. Nora not in us. There we go. And this is not Nora's first submission to This Week in Photo Critique. So welcome and congratulations.
Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful.
This is stunning. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Not only does it have a nice presentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it is exceptionally beautiful. The horizon is on the upper thirds, which shows us the majority of that reflection. The highlights are not blown out at all. The reflection highlights are slightly darker than the sky highlights, which it should be. It's beautiful. We have shadow detail, the coolness of the snow. I mean, this is, I give this one a 95.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fantastic. I know you'd like the border on there, so... there's that.
The white line is a bit bold. I think it's a little too bright. I think it should be brought down to maybe, 30% opacity, but the presentation is nice.
Back. So where's the tie-in for music? Forget Your Perfect Offering. There's a crack and everything. That's How the Light Gets In. Anthem. Okay. I decided to do one of her favorite songs. Okay, so we have to listen to this song. So I'll definitely listen to that.
Leonard Cohen, yeah, that would be really interesting.
You know what I thought about this? This is how my brain works when I saw this shot. I thought, man, that's a great shot. That would be great to have like an ice Loch Ness monster coming out of that. It's slightly transparent. It's made of ice and is breathing orange flames to contrast with the blueness of the image. That would be fantastic.
That would be good.
Right? That would be good.
That would be good.
But then it would ruin the class of this image. So.
This is true. I imagine that it would be really cool to have, like something of color in there in the water, whether it's a canoe or a duck or even an animal breaking the surface, breaking that randomness, right? Breaking that continuity.
Like a burning canoe or something, like, the Viking funeral ceremony. Yeah.
There you go. It does look like there is some Photoshop clone work right in the front reflection, slightly left.
Here?
No, more center, where the clouds are reflecting.
Oh, in here. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Just right in. Yeah. Just to the left of your cursor. It looks like there's some repeating patterns to the left.
Okay.
Lower left corner there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have caught that. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah, these two right here. Where am I? Here, right in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, was there an object there or something? But that's super, super easy to fix. Very easy to blend those. And water and reflections are very difficult to do clone work in because the continuous tone of the reflection, for one, there's so many continuous tones, and then there's actually a texture and a pattern that's going on in the water. So you really have to watch all of that when you're doing clone work. It's not simple.
Yeah, this is really nice. Is that an iceberg back there? See that?
Yep.
Is that an iceberg?
Yeah, there's one to the left too. There's a little one to the left.
Oh, I love this shot. This is really cool. Good job. What a great way to introduce yourself to the community, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful image.
Thank you, Nora. Very nice. And she says she is a nature and travel photographer, so this is what she does.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Next shot up is from Michael Rhino. Michael says, Van Halen used to play at my wife's high school dances in La Canada, California. Or is it Canada or Canada? True story, 1979. Our dog had the VH song Jump. Van Halen song. Okay. Jump on his mind for this shot. He loves it. Oh, cool. Now that song's in my head. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Great. That's awesome.
Look at that guy. Look at him. This is how I feel right there. Look at that.
Yeah,
right
that's
there. Look at that. Look at that. Getting that tennis ball. That is happiness right there. That is happiness caught in a frame. Look at that. That's a cool shot.
Yeah, that is wonderful. That's very cool. I love the contrast against the snow. Mm-hmm. I think I would like it cropped tighter. You know, just above his right paw. As you were zooming in, I saw that and I thought, man, I really like it.
Oh, like there, yeah. Maybe lose some of this dead space over here.
Yeah, and just bring it in a little bit tighter. Yeah, crop from the left and a little bit up from the bottom, because we're basically without losing the ear. But
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I love that. That's so great.
That'd be nice.
And it's nice because
would you have cloned out some of these water droplets in there those are a little bit distracting to me because my brain is like, what are those? I don't think we need that many. Maybe the ones off of his face I probably would take.
Maybe one or two, but it's nice because that's actually the snow. The snow is falling, and so we're able to see it's that's our foreground, right?
Yeah,
the dog's the middle ground, and then the white background, and the exposure is handled exceptionally well. So I really love that. But I think that a little bit of a tighter crop and
Bob's your uncle.
And Bob's your uncle. Yeah. Yep, and you can't use this one for pets for the next one. You have to use
no repeats. Repeats will be instantly disqualified. All right, Van Halen. You might as well jump.
Yeah, well, good interpretation. I dig it. That's great.
All right, next shot up is from Erik Pronske. Erik says, street musician in New Orleans. Street image of a man blowing the trumpet, playing some favorite jazz next to his buddy in the French Quarter. I thought black and white looked much better. Used the black and white preset and capture one, then added some grain back into the image for effect. Shot with his Sony. Let's take a look. Look at that. I never would have known that he added that grain in there. We were talking about this shot before we started recording. I commented on the grain.
Capture One does a great job with grain.
It does. Look at that. That looks completely natural to me.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I really, really love this image. The highlights are handled pretty well. And I'm sure that there's better detail in the highlights than what we're seeing because it gets kind of destroyed a little bit.
Yeah.
The background isn't distracting, yet we know that it's like a storefront of some kind, right? But it's just enough out of focus. The guy on the trumpet he's playing hard. You can see he's blowing a note right there. And his buddy watching him, there's a little motion in his hand. Like there's an expression on his face. It's good.
I wonder what do you think about cropping it like that?
I think that image is just as strong, but I really like the fact that there's a person in there, and I think that in some way music is kind of like that, right? Like music is played for an audience, sometimes, mostly, and I think that it's really great that there is a person there. Yeah,
that it puts it in place, right? So now you know what's going on. This way, it's without the second person in there, it's more of a portrait, and with the other person in there is more street photography. Yeah,
it's strong both ways, but I think it's stronger with the other person in there. I do wish we had a little bit more space around the observer, the guy on the right. I feel like it's a little tight. But I'm okay with that. I mean, it's street photography more than anything else, right? So. And it's very photojournalistic, and I think it plays really well.
Love it. Cool. Good shot. This is one of my favorites. All right, let's close that one down. And then the next shot is from Amy Brooks. And Amy says, love the music of Green Day, but this is actually more fun practice with my Lens Baby 56.
Oh, yeah.
And Lens Baby popping up again. Oh, look at that. Those water droplets. Tack sharp, too.
And this is her second image. So which one do we consider?
I think the other one we consider.
But this is cool.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that detail in there. That's crazy.
I've never played with the Lens Baby.
No?
No.
I would send you the one that I have a demo one that I could send to you, but it is micro four thirds only, and I know that you have an aversion to micro four thirds sensors, so
I don't have any.
Actually, you do. Don't you have one above your camera right now?
Well, my video camera is, but that's welded in place. That's like it doesn't move.
Right.
Wow, this is great. This is a really fun shot. This is beautiful.
I love that. Yeah, you get lost in this.
Yeah, macro water drops. We've got a couple different points of drawing our attention. Yeah,
you can almost feel the freshness. You could smell the green and the chlorophyll coming off of these guys.
Yeah.
No, I love it. What a good shot.
Yeah, I guess Green I need Day. To play with that. I need to play with the Lens Baby. I need to do that.
Mm-hmm. It is cool. They've come a long way from the first Lens Babies that were out.
Yeah, that's what I understand now.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing tools. And in fact, I did an interview with Craig Strong, the founder of Lens Baby, and I asked him about the build quality of the Velvet line of lenses, which presumably that was shot with the Velvet 56. And he said they were based on old Nikon manual glass. You remember those?
Yeah.
You remember how heavy and substantial those were, and just like you had a tool in your hand when you were holding those things. Yeah, that's the way these were. Next shot is from Michael DeRay. Michael says, Styx cover band, Rockin' the Paradise. It was too hard to pick a favorite song. I love about anything, so I went with the genre route. And after listening to Jay talk on the mixer, I was inspired to rework something from the archive. Yeah, cool. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a fun shot. I like that. Yeah, everybody's in their space playing.
Jamming. Yep. Separate but together.
Yep. Exactly. I would I love the colors, I love the saturation, I love all of that. I would probably crop the top down a little bit, and then if you want to work it even a little tighter, take the guy out on the left, just crop that in and remove that elbow on the right. Oh,
you mean crop all of this guy out, or just the elbow right there?
All the guy on the left.
Oh, on the left.
Yeah,
this guy.
The keyboardist. Yeah.
Okay, this guy right here. Yeah. Wait, no. This guy. Oh, take him out. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. So we just have our three people like that.
Yeah, but on the right, I'm not a big fan of cropping off the lead guitarist's guitar. So if you can do a little Photoshop work and take out the elbow that's coming into the frame, I think you have a much stronger image. Bring it in a little bit tighter.
Yeah, that's an easy Photoshop.
But nice. I mean, the stage lighting is handled really, really well. The colors are fantastic. It's pretty sharp. The expressions are good. Yeah,
good expression on his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy, look at him. He's just like, yeah, I'm in this. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Concerts are hard to shoot. I mean, I know my gear really, really well, and shooting weddings and always, shooting off the cuff, and concerts are tough. I mean, there's some of the hardest I would imagine, because it's constantly changing lighting conditions, crowded, and unpredictable in every way. Right? Yeah. Yes. And there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and as the night progresses, people get drunker and drunker in the audience.
Yeah. Speaking of drunker, I love the Budweiser bottle in the lower left. I love that.
Oh yeah, look at that! I didn't even notice that. Yeah. That's a metal one too, the aluminium one.
And there's a couple heads in the bottom, which I think are great. I think that they're shadowed, so you don't see them immediately, but it shows that there's a crowd there. So the crowd is always good to show.
Yeah, this is good. Good stuff.
Solid.
I hope we can go to concerts again sometime soon. All right, close that one down. Joshua Sommerfeld is up next. And Joshua says, He shot this with his Canon 77D with the 17 to 50 Sigma at 2 f2.8.
Wow.
Wait, what's the 35 millimeter f4? So, okay. He shot it with the 17 to 50 lens. It was at 35 millimeter f4. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's photography terms. It's sometimes.
It's a fad. It's a fad.
So I'm wondering if this is like an a cappella group.
Yeah, it's a quartet. Yeah. Well, did he say that? I thought he said that. No, he didn't say that in here. My brain said that.
Oh, this is really nice. I really like it. I'm struggling a little bit with the bench back there. I know it gives context to the frame, like size and scale and everything, and then they're not floating in like this black space, but it tends to draw my eye. So maybe burn that down.
I was going to say don't remove it. Maybe just bring its values down a little bit.
Yeah. Even cropping up from the bottom, I would hate to lose their full bodies, but I love all the expressions and the exposures handled really well. That's really great.
Would you crop like that? Maybe.
Maybe I would play with it. I like the full bodies, though. I think I do like the full body.
I think I was thinking about this shot. I like the full body too, but cropping in on it brings you closer to their personalities and to the emotion of the shot.
Right.
Because now you're in their faces, and you're not distracted by what shoes they're wearing or that speaker thing in the foreground. It's all about them and their interaction with each other. They can see this guy, making eye contact with, looks like this guy or this guy. This guy is just jamming by himself.
Yeah.
But when you zoom out, it's still there, but it's
you just
got to
print it bigger. You just got to print big.
There you go. Yeah. It's got to be a wall size. This is a wall in a house right here.
Go big. Yeah. But the treatment and the lighting and everything is handled amazingly well. So it's really good. Yeah, it's really nice. I love it. Yep. Good story.
Yeah, and out of the sort of normal comfort zone of Joshua, right? So
his normal comfort zone. We're just layering that on would scare the crap out of me. Being out in the swamp with alligators and snakes, I'm much more
spiders, right? yeah. Give me a quartet anytime.
Right. I can handle this.
Yeah.
Great shot,
Joshua.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Lamb's up next. Lamb says, for the photo critique, photography, music. He said, if this photo is considered inappropriate or disrespectful of the religion, please remove it. I'm fine, as I have a little knowledge of the cultures and thoughts of people halfway around the world. I don't see why this would be disrespectful at all.
No, this is great. Yeah. I wonder if that's if those bars in there of music is from that song. I'm gonna guess, right? Because
maybe, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you.
That's very cool. I mean, I like the illustration of this. I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did he do? Did he use the roof lines as bars? Kind of.
Yeah, it looks like it's all layered in there. I mean, I can't tell you how we did it, but it's a nice illustration of a song.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like that calligraphy is handwritten.
Mm-hmm.
And the computer, of course, I'm guessing with the computer, but that's not a font. That is handwritten, because look at all the letters are different.
Yep.
Look at the difference in the E's and the S's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. No, it's got a lot of artistic value. I dig it. I wish we didn't have the sky, the triangle in the top left-hand corner. I wish that wasn't there. That's kind of referred to as a trap, because it draws your eye to that. So it would be nice if it wasn't there.
Would you crop down, or would you clone some of the tiles up into it to make it go away?
I would have just cloned some tiles up into it. I mean, if you could, if there wasn't more sky for you to work with, or to crop, because you don't want to crop off the top of the cross on the right, so you need that you need that space. And if there's not enough real estate to rotate it, well, then that would have tilted the cross, right? So that's nice and vertical. So that's just nitpicking, though, is that top left corner.
Yeah. It's educational, though. That's
like you said. That's clouds in there.
That's the trap. Yeah. Is that a verb now? Oh, no. And Photoshop is over. Now it's Skyloom some clouds in there.
Yeah.
All right. Next shot. Thank you, Lamb.
Just Luminar it.
Luminar it. All right. Second to last shot here is from Craig Stampley. And Craig says, music genre. Okay, let's take a look.
Soda pop.
Yes, that's what he was getting at. Pop.
That's very clever.
Yeah, I like the Mountain Dew. I'll take the Coke. Both of those, the Coke Classic and the Mountain Dew and the canned Coke and the Fanta Grape.
I've never had Lift. I don't know what that is. I'm wondering if that's like an energy drink.
I've never had it either, so I've never even heard of it. So
Nice.
It's gotta be an energy drink if you call it Lift. Right?
Right. And I noticed that the Mountain Dew is a big one. It's not the little one. It's the big one.
Of course.
It's not the normal can.
Yeah. In Silicon Valley, we call Mountain Dew nectar of the nerds. It's nerd nectar.
Oh man, this is great. Well, I used to have a friend that used to call, everything was soda. She was from the Midwest, and she just called everything pop. And that's where my family's from. So it's funny because you visit and they're like, hey, would you like a pop?
Yeah.
So I get that. Yeah. Soda pop.
Midwest and down south, it's all pop.
Oh yeah.
Soda. What is this soda stuff? What is this carbonated beverage stuff you're talking about? Give me a pop.
I like the color combination, like the yellow and then the sort of that cyan or magenta background.
Yeah.
I wish the Fanta can on the right had a little bit more light on it because I feel like the light's kind of falling off on that can itself, but it's probably just a darker can, so it's just not coming through. And then the Coke bottle is nice and centered, so it's staggered nice. The two tall cans, the Dew and the Pepsi back there.
Yeah.
Pepsi Max, like this is great. What a great commercial shot too.
If Craig Stampley had, any sort of attention to detail, he would have gone in and changed this word soda to pop. Or
no, just put a little handwritten pop next to it, right?
With an X on the soda.
Yeah, with an X on the soda. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
But I want to commend Craig for the meticulous layout. Like this isn't, it's obvious that these are intentionally laid out, good field of focus. Everything is positioned so that you can identify the can, you can read what it is. That's well done. It's not just thrown on a table and photographed real quick with the cell phone.
Yeah. I wonder how he lit this though. Looking at the catch lights, like in the Coke bottle here.
Oh yeah, could be a window or a big.
It's probably window light. Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Cool.
Wondering if that's composited.
Oh, you think this is like shot at multiple times? These cans?
You know what? I don't know. Look at the edge. See now we're picking on Craig a little bit, but he's good with it. The top right can of the Mountain Dew and the top right corner of the Lift, they look soft.
The top right.
Yeah, see that right edge? It's
right here, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's blended.
Oh, interesting.
Craig, I think he's got to let us know.
Yeah, that may just, who knows, but interesting. Is this a composite? Is it not a composite?
I'm going with a composite, at least those.
I'm going to go with no. It is not a composite. Well,
definitely composited. Or you know what? Maybe not. He maybe didn't composite the cans in there, but maybe what he did is he dropped out the background and threw it in. There's some composite-y stuff. There's some Photoshop-y stuff.
I'm trying to, I'm looking down here. There's a reflection on the Fanta, but I don't see reflections on the other guys. Huh. Well, maybe a little. I don't know. They were just like getting it. Craig's like, oh my God, it's a shot of some cans, man.
Yeah, I think it's brighter on the right, on the left. There's a little bit of reflection, but there's definitely like that background, I think, around some of those cans with either cleaned up or cloned. There's definitely some pinkish color back there because in the bottom right corner of the Lift can, you can see there's a little pink in there. So it looked, like that was like a natural light back there somehow. So
yeah. Well, Craig, let us know, man. Here's some Inception nitpickery.
Yeah.
How about this Photoshop job on these grapes on the Fanta can?
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably could have done better than that, Fanta. Come on, with all your money.
Those are highlights. Those are supposed to be highlights.
It's not selling me. It looks like a cut and paste job to me. All right, Craig Stampley, thank you, man.
Yeah, good shot. Thanks for letting us pick on it.
Mm-hmm. And last shot is Jack Hobbs, another one of our newer members. And Jack Hobbs says, "I like my music country, son." That's how I have to say that when you read it.
That's funny. That's funny. When you read that, I heard Thomas Aaron's voice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what Jack's voice sounds like, so I know what Tom sounds like.
Tom doesn't have that much of a country twang in there.
He does a little bit. He does a little bit. Yeah,
it's a little bit seasoned to taste.
Yeah. I love the shot. I love the perspective. The perspective is my favorite. I would probably crop the left. I would probably tighten it up and make it closer to a square. We don't need to give the wagon any place to go. We know it's old. We know it's like an antique. It's sitting there, and I think just really kind of focusing in on the wagon itself. So crop the top down and the left in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
kind of like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, something like that. I just don't think there's a story on the left quadrant at all, and the sky, because the sky is blown out, and you can't really recover something that's been blown out. I think maybe it'd be better just to crop it off.
Yeah, it's cool. What do you think about the sepia treatment?
I love the sepia treatment. Sepia is definitely one of my favorite treatments for any of these images, so I like that a lot. And it's monochromatic, so you don't have colors distracting you, and it really brings you into the shape. And then that sepia tone really gives you a sense of time. I like that, sort of that old school.
And you know what? On this, especially old Western, old school, right? I think the entire world was sepia back then. If you look at photographs.
A lot of people don't realize, and I know you do, is that sepia wasn't on purpose. That was, improperly fixed images that were turning bad.
Correct. That's exactly what it was. But looking at this one, I like the border on this one. I like simple, it's got a black inside border, and then just this nice, elegant outside border. I like those kind of borders.
Yep.
Very simple.
Yeah, very cool.
Not in your face. You wouldn't even notice it until I said it. See,
I noticed it.
Well, because you're the border master. Everything must have a border.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Great job.
Yep. Thank you.
I love it. So many good images. I gotta give kudos to the community. I really thought this would be an underwhelming delivery, because I thought it's kind of esoteric. I thought it would be kind of hard to share that vision, but they rose to the challenge, of course.
They did. They rose to the challenge. They came through, and now blood's in the water because I want to do something different when it comes to music. Because I think the next one will focus it down a little bit. Right, so we'll get a little bit more detailed on music and your photographic interpretation of music.
Yeah, so, I agree.
So our favorite? You want to pick a favorite?
I think it's Erik Pronski's. I'm gonna channel Frederick a little bit. I'm gonna be like, my favorite would be Erik Pronski's trumpet player because it.
And that's what I had on the screen ready to go. Yes.
I dig it.
Yes.
I just. Yeah.
Well, this one speaks to it's the one for me. It speaks to the to the topic. Obviously, it's music. I love the black and white treatment, flawless processing on here. It's a story. We don't see a whole lot of street. We do. We see a fair amount of street photography, but this is exceptional street photography. With the eye contact, and it kind of draws you into the moment.
There's minimal distractions, but yet there's enough enough detail in the image to kind of tell the story. And you know this better than I do as a photojournalist. You have a choice, even in photojournalism, of how you place your subject and where you move your camera, high or low, and try to keep a clean background to tell the best story without distraction, right? And this is doing that exceptionally well. So it's not just only fitting the theme, but I think that just the overall photographic nature is pretty strong. So.
Yep, I agree. Good job. And that was Erik Pronske.
Yes, great job, Erik.
Really good shot. Yeah, I'm excited. That was good. Cool. What a great critique.
Series. If he's got more in there, I want to see those. Right?
Yeah, Erik, post those in the comments for that post if you could.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We'll take a look at those. Yeah. So next week, pets.
Pets.
Or the secret world of pets.
Or the secret world of pets. Yeah, pets. Something to do with pets.
Something to do with pets. Yeah. And then later, we're going to go generic on this one, pets, but later be advised that I think we're going to niche down on pets too, because I want to, get a little bit more detailed.
Well, we have a pattern, right? We do an open category. Then we do a tight category. Then we do a slightly looser category. And then we're going to get really tight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these are good. These critiques are good. You know what else is good? Tim Ingles' meetings that he's been doing. And it's like every other day he's doing those meetings and challenging people to do different kinds of photography and getting people out, getting them to take their camera out of the camera bags and do some work with it.
Yeah,
I think that's really good.
The next topic is double exposure for his, so that's gonna be challenging. Yeah.
Ooh, I may want to participate in that. There's a double exposure shot I've been aching to do. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. Mine are edgy, so I don't know if you guys are going to take it. But I tend to use photography as therapy, so you'll get a glimpse into what I'm thinking when I.
I think a lot of us do that. I have to see your
into the mind of Frederick. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. So next week is pets, or the secret world of pets.
Right.
And we'll rock it from there. Cool, man.
Perfect.
All right, and hopefully next week or the week thereafter, you and I will have some news that we are going to share.
Yes.
I was going to say with the community, but the community will find out first. But this is a global kind of thing that we're working on.
Yeah, we're always working on something, but yeah, this would be nice.
Yes. Yes, Smithers. Excellent.
Oh my gosh.
All right, man. Well, you take care. You enjoy yourself up there. And, I told you I have some new gear showing up here. So, well, not photo gear, but some audio, video stuff.
Yeah, I know. We got lots of stuff to play with. So good thing we have time.
Yes. Yeah. It's like this room is getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
So much stuff in it. All right, man. Well, on with your day, and we will talk soon.
All right. Take care. Bye, everybody. Right. Thanks. Good job.
Peace.
This is TWiP.